Hi, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk mountain weather and ski conditions. And the first thing I want to do is look at Schweitzer. They are getting some new snow as this pattern is sort of reorganizing up into the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of sending moisture into parts of Schweitzer. They've got 3 inches in the last 24 hours, and they will add a little bit more over the next couple of days, but maybe a better period for Schweitzer by the end of the week. And so far for the season, 172 inches there. Now, I actually made a list, updated my list or snow totals for the season so far. And you can see Jackson Hole still at the top. If you can't see the numbers for Jackson Hole, they're at 441. Grand Targhee is at 379, so doing exceptionally well up there. It's not going to be long before Jackson Hole hits 500 inches. Out to 342, you've made a nice comeback, but still in need of snow. Still, the percentages in the basins are showing need of more snow. Whistler Blackcomb looking pretty good, 331. Revelstoke, you're going to be adding snow over the next 5 to 7 days as well, with this pattern being the way that it is. Wolf Creek sitting at about 285. Steamboats come up the list, and you can see the other resorts through Colorado. We just need more snow in Colorado. I mean, that's just sort of the bottom line. Here's radar and satellite, and we'll get into the analysis here. Now, as I talked about yesterday in my report, most of the west and the southwest are blocked at this point with a large dome of high pressure settling into this area in the four corners, kind of sealing this area off, and it's going to be dry, it's going to be warm for a couple of days, with most of the action shooting up here into the Pacific Northwest. And that's why, for example, Schweitzer is getting moisture, because it's just being escorted in. And it's this area that will receive most of the moisture over the next couple of days. I mean, you can see this rich feed of moisture streaming in from the Pacific. You can sort of trace those clouds all the way back, and that's what's firing off that moisture into the Pacific Northwest. And that's the way the jet stream looks right now, which is that orientation. And I mentioned this yesterday, we're seeing the pattern sort of reorganize early this week, and then there's going to be a door opener or scrappy type of storm that kind of drops south and changes all of that. But again, that jet has everything locked off in the southwest for now, but that changes. Look what happens by Wednesday. This is that changing of the guard here, with the jet now finally buckling across the west. It's that low, this initial low that could drop south, that will do it and sort of open the door then to a colder northwest flow pattern right here by the end of the week, Friday and Saturday. And I do like this a lot for areas across Utah and Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. It'll be colder with this. You'll have better snow chances. And again, that's by the end of the week. You have to thank this initial storm that sort of gives up all its energy to do this, but to break down that high. So this is our future radar. And again, most of the moisture is locked up into the Pacific Northwest. There's a little bit right here that starts to drop south into Jackson, and you will get some accumulation, probably between 5 to 10 inches out of this over the next 24 to 36 hours as it drops south through Big Sky and down into Jackson and Grand Targhee. Now that's by tomorrow morning. As we move from tomorrow to tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, that kind of fizzles out. It kind of flashes and gets eaten up by the dry air. That's what that low is. This low is kind of doing, is it's sacrificing itself. So you've got some additional moisture coming in on the backside, but that's because the jet stream is reorganized. It's going to start to drop south and take that northwest orientation. So that moisture creeps south on Wednesday morning. And then by the time we go from Wednesday to Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, that's when the whole thing drops to the south. And it's getting some support here, right? So you've got a low, that the little cyclogenesis, I also talked about that yesterday. It's going to try to develop somewhere down in here in southern Colorado, and that's going to lay down some snow along the Continental Divide in Colorado, and then east, dropping down, and southern Colorado will benefit from this. Now, this is a real question mark as to how much snow we see out of this. Depends exactly where the low sets up, as it drops off the high elevations of Colorado down to the plains, the lower elevations, you get that spin up. Now, back here, what you see is some additional moisture through the Pacific Northwest on Thursday, Wednesday night, and the Thursday morning. What will happen here is, because this low has dropped so far down into Colorado, is with that sort of building, that has opened up the jet and become a little more open and from the northwest. And this was the part of this I really liked, because that storm is the door opener. What we will see between Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and Friday morning is now we'll start to see the moisture drop down. Let's see what, there it is. It's almost like magic, right? That all of a sudden now we've got this beautiful northwest flow pattern where you're beginning to hit and bump up against all of these mountain ranges through Idaho and down through the Tetons, down through the Wasatch, and then eventually down into Colorado as well. And Friday morning's just the start of this. You know, this would continue through Friday afternoon, Friday night, into Saturday morning. In fact, I'll take this future radar all the way out into Saturday morning so you can see how this sort of plays out. But this is what you like to see, these lobes of it. There it is. I mean, it's still in the same areas. You've got this great flow coming in from the Pacific Northwest all the way down, opening the door for some colder air as well. So that's going to set us up for a nice weekend. Let's get into the accumulations here. And we'll run this accumulation all the way from today into Saturday. In fact, we'll go all the way through the week, but I'll stop it. We'll go for, if you're going to be skiing on Tuesday, most of the accumulation between today and Tuesday will be in a few areas. Look to Jackson Hole again, somewhere between 5, 6, 7, 8 inches by tomorrow in Jackson. There's some new snow through Discovery and Schweitzer, but the bigger totals will be in the Pacific Northwest. Let's go from Tuesday into Wednesday. And we will add some additional snow accumulation into, let's see how this looks, between Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll add probably another 5 inches in Jackson Hole. You can see that number. Look at those big totals up there into the Pacific Northwest. We will start to see some of the numbers come up through western Banff as well, dropping down into Schweitzer and Discovery, and even Big Sky as we go from sort of Wednesday into Thursday and even Friday. Let's see how the totals tick up here between Wednesday and Thursday. And here they come with the new moisture sort of dropping down between Wednesday and Thursday. There you go, a little bit more accumulation even into Colorado. But again, that initial low has to spin up on the plains, and the numbers do go up. Look at Wolf Creek with that low sitting down here. That should do well. Wolf Creek should do well, Monarch, and then even right on top the Continental Divide. We're going to have to watch some of the totals there as well as that low spins up. But look at Jackson. By the time we get into Grand Targhee and Big Sky, Discovery, Schweitzer, Revelstoke, all those numbers have come up by Friday morning. And again, that's just the start of that northwest flow. So I'm going to run this into Saturday as well, so you can see how the totals continue to go up between Friday and Saturday. Okay, this is good stuff. So Saturday morning, if you're plotting out your Saturday, the numbers in Colorado have come up. Look at Jackson Hole. I mean, we're working on a couple of feet or more up there potentially. And look at the numbers through Schweitzer and Revelstoke, looking good there. Not a ton indicated here by Saturday through the Wasatch, and this is kind of a special case because it's possible these numbers would be underdone on this for Alta and Snowbird, because it really depends where the anchoring will end up being on this northwest flow. If it sinks even a little bit further to the south, we could be looking at more of an accumulation here on the curve through the Wasatch, but that's yet to be seen. So this just gives you an idea through the end of the week. I'll keep things updated here throughout the course of the week. Always appreciate you here tuning in. Take care. Have a good day.